want to talk in detail about the armpit lock, or what they call in Japanese wakigatami. That just means armpit lock. This is one of your better, more high percentage submissions that you can do standing. And it can be used in a lot of different situations. So we're going to begin by looking at it from the push defenses, which is on your number 1 on your top 10. But I'm going to show you variations, and then later through the program, you're going to see how it can be done in different ways, and there's lots of different opportunities for it. Now, in general, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, particularly a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner, prefers to do his submissions on the ground because you have a much better chance of success and control, especially on top when you have gravity assisting everything you do. There are good submissions that you can do standing that we've been looking at, but they tend to be lower percentage simply because the person has more places to go. So in the end, no matter what somebody tells you, no matter what kung fu movie you've seen, it's far more difficult to do standing submissions than it is to do submissions on the ground. That doesn't mean you shouldn't practice them. They're really important for self-defense. And personally, I've spent a lot of years working on them, and I find it helps my ground game, because if I can control a person with all these variables in the standing position, it really does translate a lot of the time to tighter control on the ground. Okay, so let's look at the armpit lock and some different variations. One of the most common variations is again off this push. This time we're going to be late. When I'm early, I'm able to do the shadow effect and move laterally so that he skims across me. I get behind him. We're going to look at that, finishes in a moment. If I'm late, however, his force is going to disrupt me. So one of the common and classical ways to deal with the push is the armpit lock. As he pushes me, I have to step back to absorb the force. Make sure you go into base like we talked about. We can't be destabilized. Now at the same time, if I'm late but not too late, I pull him with me. Do you see how he falls off balance? For that moment, he's really weak. No matter how big he is, when he's on that 1 foot, you've got an opportunity to attack this arm. So you're doing 2 really important things here. Number 1 is you're pulling him off balance, which is your basic first principle for everything we do standing. You don't want to fight a guy when he's in a stable position. That's when he can use all his strength. And the second thing we're doing is helping him extend his arm. So if you try to lock his arm and he knows what you're doing, he's just going to bend it. He's going to straighten it. It's instinctive. But if I catch him in this moment where he expects to feel resistance here and I pull him off balance, then I cut off his ability to circle around me, and I pull his arm straight, I'm in a very good position to hyperextend his elbow. Okay, that's the classic way to do the armpit lock, taught in most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools. It works really well. Let's take a look at it in detail. So as he makes contact with me, remember your principle. I don't want to resist him and start fighting with the guy. I want him to fall off balance. As I do that, I catch his wrist here, just like we've done in some of the other grips. This time I want to use my thumbs. So both hands come like this. I pull him off balance. Now, for that moment that he's off balance, he may run past you, or circle around. So from here, I want to step across the guy. So I basically run into him. I cut him off so that he's in this position. If he's bent over,